up on Sportsource, a Georgia softball freshman making her presence known right off the bat.
And later, I'll speak with freshman starter Eliza Exley, who is leading the Oconee County women's basketball team into the first round of the state playoffs this week.
Plus, I find out more about Athens United and their promotion to a new league. Sportsource starts now.
Welcome to Sportsource. I'm your host, Savannah Hernandez. We begin our coverage tonight with freshman sensation Emily Digby, who's leading UGA softball in a dominant debut season. Joining me now is Sportsource reporter Tori Newman with more on how she's turning heads in her own backyard. Tori.
Georgia softball's 2024 campaign is nothing short of electrifying. Boasting a stellar 13-1 record and a 4-game win streak, the Bulldogs have soared to number 3 in the nation. Victories over ranked opponents like Virginia Tech, Oklahoma State, UCLA, Florida State, and most recently Clemson fueled their rise. But amidst a roster seasoned with experience, a young talent is making waves. Freshman infielder Emily Digby, a local hero, has climbed to the top of Georgia's batting lineup, excelling in her dream role of starting for her hometown team. Recently, I sat down with Digby to discuss her experience as a college starter and her thoughts on the team's phenomenal start. As Georgia softball looks to avenge its early exit in last year's Super Regional, the team's veteran-heavy lineup, featuring 4 preseason All-SEC players, was likely expected to make the most noise in the beginning of the Bulldogs' 2024 campaign. But now, several games into the season, Emily Digby, a freshman from Dacula, Georgia, has emerged to be one of the leading faces for Team 28. Digby has started every game of her Georgia career so far, drawing on her previous experience as a utility player while at first base and hitting in the starting lineup. Yet to her, the idea of starting on the nationally ranked team she grew up cheering for isn't so daunting after all.
I just kind of told myself that if I want to be a starter, I need to act like one, and I can't act like a true freshman. I need to be able to be comfortable with being a leader, speaking loud, and just playing along with the veterans. So
Digby played both varsity basketball and softball just under an hour away at Dacula High School and played club softball with Georgia Impact Sampson. In her time with the Falcons, Digby won a regional title with the team in 2021, was a 3-time All-Region, All-County, and All-State pick, and was named the 2021 Gwinnett County Player of the Year. She was recruited by Georgia head coach Tony Baldwin that same year, and committed in September of 2021.
It wasn't a surprise to anybody. She doesn't practice all the time. And, you know, what's great about Emily is she's just a really consistent thinker, you know, and that allows her to be a consistent player. She shows up every day. She's a very consistent personality. She doesn't get too high, she doesn't get too low, and she's a great competitor.
Flourishing in her newfound role as a starter, Digby has risen to the top of Georgia's batting lineup. She holds one of the highest batting averages on the team, already recording hits and RBIs in the double digits. During the Georgia Classic, the freshman earned her first career home run during Georgia's nail-biter loss to ranked opponent Virginia Tech.
I was definitely nervous. A lot of jitters going up to the plate. I think I was actually shaking for a little bit. But after I hit it, it was just like, okay, I'm used to this. It's the same game I've been playing for 14 years, so it was awesome.
As the Bulldogs prepare for the thick of their season, Digby refuses to let the success distract her from the team's overall focus.
I feel like with the ranking so high, it's just like another day in the office. We know that, yes, we're up high in the rankings, but we still have more to improve on, and we're not going to settle.
For the Carmichael Sports Media Institute, I'm Tori Newman. Digby's time in Athens is only just getting started. With several tough opponents remaining before conference play starts in 2 weeks, her impact on the Bulldogs will continue to be a captivating storyline. Back to you, Savannah.
Thanks, Tori. Digby's stellar performance is igniting a fire in Athens, and a hometown hero is undeniably rising. Now we take a closer look at how lacrosse fever is sweeping Athens. 2 powerhouses collide in a battle of sticks and strategy. Sportsource analysts Evan Smoke and Avi Young join us to dissect this week's highly anticipated matchup.
Fellowship Christian is riding high after reaching the quarterfinals in 2023 and has continued their success with a strong start to this season.
Meanwhile, Oconee County boasts an impressive home record, going 9-1 at Warrior Stadium last year. They'll be looking to defend their home turf against the Paladins tonight.
Will Fellowship Christian extend their dominance, or will Oconee County rise to the challenge and claim a victory at home? We dive deep into this matchup after the break. Welcome back to Sportsource. Lacrosse is booming across Georgia, and Athens is buzzing for tonight's Fellowship Christian Oconee County matchup. But before we get into the specifics, Sportsource analysts Evan and Avi break down the ins and outs for viewers new to the sport.
That's right, Savannah. Let's delve into the specifics of field lacrosse, the variety sanctioned by the Georgia High School Association. This fast-paced and physical game takes place on a vast field, stretching 120 yards in length. Each team strives to score by shooting the ball into their opponent's goal, strategically positioned 15 yards from the end lines on both sides.
The game consists of 10 players on each team, split between 4 main position groups: attackers, midfielders, defenders, and 1 goalie per side. First up are the attackers. Their primary focus is scoring goals. They are skilled dodgers and shooters, aiming to outmaneuver defenders and find the back of the net. Next are the midfielders. These versatile players act as the engine of the team, transitioning the ball from defense to offense and vice versa. They possess well-rounded skills in offense, defense, and ground ball control.
Behind them, they're the defenders. Their mission is to prevent the opposing team from scoring. Equipped with longer sticks, they employ strategic positioning and body checking to impede attackers' progress. Standing last is the goalie. They act as the lone guardian of the net and as the last line of defense. They require exceptional reflexes, agility, and anticipation to stop powerful shots and secure their team's goal.
Now that we've delved into the exciting world of lacrosse, let's shift our focus to tonight's host, Oconee County. Avi, what can you tell us about this year's Oconee County squad and what they bring to the field?
Savannah, Oconee County enters tonight's game with a 1-5 record, looking to secure their first home win of the season. The Warriors' offense has struggled, scoring double-digit goals once in their lone win against Greenbrier back on February 9th. Their defense has been a bright spot, as they have held their opponent to single digits in 3 of their last 5 games. Oconee County will look to All-State honorable mention defensive midfielder Carson Child to keep the Paladins' offense at bay. The senior midfielder will need to make a difference with his strong on-ball defense. Prior to tonight's matchup, Oconee County head coach Michael Baker spoke about facing such strong competition.
We're looking forward to the contest, and we know that they're talented, and I feel pretty confident in our guys and their ability, and I'm hoping we can get a little bit better playing against good competition.
Evan, lay out the visitors' game plan tonight.
Well, Savannah, Fellowship Christian arrives in Watkinsville boasting a strong 4-1 record, including impressive wins over the defending state champion and the runners-up. Their offense, having already surpassed double digits twice, will clash head-on with Oconee County's defense. A key matchup to watch? The Warriors will need to find their scoring touch against Fellowship Christian's goalie, Grant Malden, a University of Maryland, Baltimore County commit who's been stellar so far this season. Veteran coach Lou Corsetti, with over 40 years of lacrosse experience, leads the Paladins. Here's what Coach Corsetti had to say about his strategy for tonight's matchup.
Well, I do it probably a little differently than other coaches. We scout via film mostly, just because we may be having a game when our next opponent is having a game the same night. So it's really challenging to get physically to a game and see somebody.
Thanks, Evan. Fellowship Christian's strong start fuels the fire for tonight's clash. Evan, Avi, any predictions for this highly anticipated matchup?
We sure do, Savannah. Get ready for fireworks. Fellowship Christian is on a roll, and I expect them to bring the heat tonight. Oconee County won't give up without a fight on their home turf, but I'm calling it 14-5, Paladins all the way. What about you, Evan?
I have to agree, Avi. Boasting a talented roster and guided by Coach Corsetti, Fellowship Christian appears unstoppable. Oconee County, known for their strong home field defense, might fall short of an upset tonight. Expect a convincing 13-7 road victory for the Fellowship Christian Paladins in Watkinsville. Back to you, Savannah.
Thanks, guys. We'll be keeping an eye on the action down at Warrior Stadium later tonight. Up next on Sportsource, we chat with the freshman phenom leading the Oconee County girls basketball team to the playoffs. And later, we explore a local soccer club's new chapter as they switch leagues. Don't go away. Sportsource returns after this short break. Welcome back to Sportsource. Oconee County's freshman phenom Eliza Exley takes center stage tonight on Sportsource. Joining me now is Sportsource reporter Sarah Sims, who's diving into Exley's impact on the court and the Lady Warriors' journey.
Oconee County women's basketball team made the Sweet 16 for the GHSA state playoffs with the help of the impressive varsity starter, freshman Eliza Exley. Just stepping into the world of high school basketball, Exley has made a monumental impact with her team by averaging 9 points per game, being the second leading scorer on her team, and averaging 3 assists per game. She was the primary ball handler for Oconee this year, playing both as point guard and shooting guard. Eliza, so your team's going to the Sweet 16 today facing Wesleyan, correct?
Yes.
How do you feel stepping into the atmosphere, as a freshman and you already going to the playoffs with this team?
It's like really exciting. It's going to be like fun and it's just good experience, stuff like that.
Yeah, so how are you looking at building off of this season for, your future 3 seasons? That's crazy. You're a freshman already stepping up into playing the playoffs. How are you looking to build from that?
I can just like realize what I need to work on, just stuff like that, and getting to know my teammates more.
Yeah, and so what are some of the things that you do need to work on, like you just mentioned?
Definitely my left hand and crashing the boards the most, but I'm getting a lot better at both of those right now.
Yeah, and how would you say you've grown the most, like this entire season, from stepping off the little middle school basketball court to being a starting varsity member of the Oconee County Warriors basketball team?
I feel like I'm seeing the court a lot more and like pushing the ball and stuff like that, and just good movement and smart decisions.
That's awesome. And obviously women's basketball is just becoming more and more over the time. I'm sure you watched like the All-Star weekend with Sabrina and Caitlin and all of that. Would you say that you have anyone that you just like really enjoy watching or look up to that you want to be one day?
Not really, no. I kind of just play and just do my best, stuff like that.
Yeah, so like do you have a favorite team or anything?
No, I honestly don't watch basketball.
Okay, so you kind of play it, but you can't watch it because you play it so much. Would you say that there's anyone that has really helped you this season, grow to where you are?
I feel like definitely my coach and then like all my teammates, like they're understanding, but they also give good feedback and stuff like that.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. Thank you. Even though the Warriors didn't push past Wesleyan to take it further in the playoffs this year, these Warriors are in good hands with Exley on their team for the future. Better yet, their entire roster has another year together. Talk about team chemistry. They will be a force to be reckoned with next basketball season, so look out. Back to you, Savannah.
Thanks, Sarah. The rise of underclassmen within a team is always an inspiring story. Coming up after the break, I'm joined by Sportsource reporter Lindsay Bornhorst to tee off some incredible success stories.
Up next, a swing of success on the PGA Tour. We'll uncover how UGA is making significant strides in the world of professional golf.
As the new year dawns and the PGA Tour season kicks off, the University of Georgia boasts a unique distinction. Joining me today is Sportsource analyst Lindsay Bornhorst, who will delve into the story behind the Dogs on Tour.
The University of Georgia boasts a remarkable presence in professional golf, holding the distinction of having the most alumni, tied with Alabama, a total of 10 currently competing on the PGA Tour. Among these talented individuals, 5 proudly hold positions within the top 40 of the rankings. These standout players include Brian Harmon, Sepp Straka, Chris Kirk, Russell Henley, and Harris English. 4 of these top 5 Georgia Bulldogs enjoyed a successful 2023 season, each collecting a win. Sepp Straka triumphed at the John Deere Classic, Russell Henley secured the Worldwide Technology Championship, Chris Kirk emerged victorious at the Honda Classic, and Brian Harmon secured a massive $16.5 million windfall by claiming the Open Championship title. And if that wasn't enough to excite Georgia Bulldog fans, Chris Kirk continued his winning ways in January, capturing the Century Tournament of Champions, also known as the opening drive, to kick off the 2024 season and secure his place at the Masters. This victory further solidified the Bulldogs' presence on the golfing landscape. I caught up with Kirk earlier this week to chat about how his win is propelling him forward for the rest of the season. Here's what he shared.
I've had some good success over the years in those tournaments in Hawaii, but, coming off of a little bit of a break, you kind of never really know what to expect from your game. I'd been playing and practicing some, but, you haven't played a tournament in a little bit. So to go straight out and play that well is a little bit unexpected, but an incredible way to start the year and a great way to set up the rest of the season.
Kirk noted that he prepared his mindset and body for the win in the off-season by coupling strength mobility training and working with a mental coach. Not only does UGA foster professional talent, but also a community. Kirk lives and trains in Athens at the UGA golf course. He said he makes sure all of the university golfers know he's there to offer advice and talk whenever needed. As far as the community, among other alumni on tour, Kirk told me they play a lot of practice rounds together and even stay in the same rental house for tournaments throughout the season.
So, Lindsay, what impact do you hope these 10 performances have on audiences?
Well, UGA's football program is renowned for churning out NFL stars. Its successes on the fairway often flies under the radar. Head coach Chris Hack has quietly built a powerhouse since 1996, consistently producing champions like Chris Kirk, Brian Harmon, Sepp Straka, and Russell Henley. Forget the March Madness for a bit and tune into the Golf Channel this spring. These former Bulldogs are ready to tee off and show the world how it's done. Back to you, Savannah.
Thanks, Lindsay. We'll keep an eye out for Bulldogs on the green this spring. Coming up after the break, we'll explore the exciting journey of a local soccer club as they embark on a new chapter in a different league. And later, we'll tackle a hot topic. How is the expanded college football playoff impacting the game? We want to hear your thoughts. Sportsource returns after this short break. Welcome back to Sportsource. From humble beginnings to soaring success, a local soccer club with a 5-decade legacy is poised for a new challenge. Sportsource reporter Lucas Kochevar joins us to delve into their inspiring story. Lucas.
That's right, Savannah. Athens United is just one of 128 teams in the United Soccer League 2, but it'll be a monumental move up for the team. Athens United has promoted soccer to the local community since their inception. With this new league, they look forward to a new chapter in their history. I recently spoke to people involved with the team about how they see the future playing out. Athens United traces back to a team in 1972 known as the Applejacks. After a merger with Athens International, Athens United was born in 1986. The team's goal remains the same in the present day. They look to promote soccer to the Athens community and help the youth develop their skills for the next level. Shania Wegson was one of those players who developed in her last 2 years of high school. Now in her freshman year at Emmanuel College, she looks back fondly on her time with Athens United.
My age is a year above, so the competition and the coaching levels were just completely different, and the girls were great and amazing, and the skill level was just, it pushed me to be better.
Shania Wegson isn't alone in her success story. Joining the college ranks after Athens United, Nathan Paredes signed with Young Harris College and Navy Yacht inked the deal with Truett McConnell. These are just a few examples of the club's impact on player development. Executive Director Lloyd White, with the organization since 2010, has played a pivotal role in guiding countless young athletes through Athens United's program. In a way, White even inadvertently influenced Wegson's path. The club wasn't just a training ground, it was a family affair for the Wegsons, with Lloyd White holding a special connection to the family.
I heard about them through my brother. My brother had played there before along with my sister. So I heard about it through them, but ultimately through my grandpa because he knows Lloyd.
Strong bonds like the one between the Wegson family and Athens United solidify the club's reputation in the community. Athens United thrives on a volunteer spirit, fostering a collaborative environment where players and volunteers build the team together. This dedication was instrumental in propelling Athens United to the USL League 2. Significant leap forward. The USL League 2, an amateur summer league 2 levels below the MLS, marks a step up in competition from their previous platform, the ECNL. Shania Wegson sees this new stage as a source of inspiration for the next generation of Athens United players, motivating them to reach even greater heights.
It's something more for people to strive for, in a way. Like, yeah, you can come here and play club and play ECNL, but there's always another level. There's always room to improve, and that allows those girls who are at the highest level, which is the ECNL, to get to the USWL.
Reporting for the Carmichael Sports Media Institute, I'm Lucas Kochevar. Athens United's debut in the USL will be against Birmingham FC on May 22nd. They'll be a part of the Southern Conference in the South Central Division once they begin match play. For now, they'll look to help boys and girls ages 4 to 19. These youth teams will start their season on March 2nd. The young kids will look to leave an impression on coaches as they now look to fill out their roster for the summer. Back to you, Savannah.
Thanks, Lucas. Next on Sportsource, we go to analysts Micaiah Costin and Hank Tatum for a look at high school baseball players who take their talents beyond Athens after graduation.
That's right, Savannah. I talked with Prince Avenue coach Alan Osborne about his 4 committed Wolverine players.
And I spoke with Jay Lastly, head coach of the North Oconee Titans, about his group of seniors. Next on SportSource.
Prince Avenue and North Oconee high schools are both sending talented players to the next level, with Prince Avenue boasting 4 future collegiate stars and North Oconee aiming for a 3-peat championship fueled by their own promising prospects. Our SportSource analysts Micaiah Costin and Hank Tatum join me now to take a deeper dive into these players and their college commitments. Let's start with you, Micaiah.
Prince Avenue Christian School boasts not 1, but 4 baseball standouts committed to playing at the collegiate level next year. Andrew Gillespie, a right-handed pitcher and infielder for the Wolverines, impressed with a .420 batting average and 31 RBIs in 2023. He also showcased his pitching prowess with a 2.40 ERA and 38 strikeouts across 35 innings. His coach highlights his strong arm, throwing upwards of 88.90 miles per hour. Gillespie is committed to play at Samford University.
Besides Andrew Gillespie, with other Prince Avenue Christian School baseball players have committed to play at the collegiate level.
Joining Gillespie are Mason Banks, William Goff, and Trey Taylor. Banks, committed to Belmont Abbey College as a left-handed pitcher, throws a fastball averaging 78 to 82 miles per hour. His curveball average is recorded at the high end of 81 miles per hour, and he was nominated Region Pitcher of the Year last season.
Strong left-hander, throws up the strike zone, throws a lot of strikes, doesn't walk a lot of people, man, and he's really developed himself into a quality left-hander.
Goff, a versatile shortstop and utility player, pledged to Wingate University. He boasts a stellar .492 batting average and 42 RBIs from last season. And that leaves us with Taylor, who will be pitching as well as playing defensively at Covenant College. Coach Osborne described him as a really strong pitcher who displays his love of competing while throwing continuous strikes throughout his career, but also being very flexible with his skills in various positions. With these powerhouse players leaving soon, Coach Osborne reflected on the influence they have on the team.
They got a huge spirit about them. They're not too high, not too low when it comes to their daily preparation, the way they play the game. They're just a joy to be around. They're good kids, and they keep it loose, they keep it real, and they love to compete.
Andrew Gillespie, Mason Banks, William Goff, and Trey Taylor all possess impressive skills and bright futures ahead of them, highlighting the strength of the Wolverines program. Back to you, Savannah.
Thanks, Micaiah. Turning our attention to North Oconee, SportSource analyst Hank Tatum has more on the 4 baseball players moving to the collegiate level. Who are they, Hank?
Savannah, North Oconee, the 2-time reigning state champions, has its own set of collegiate-bound stars. KJ Moon will be playing for the Mercer Bears next year, while Braden Hassan will pitch for the Toccoa Falls Screaming Eagles. Additionally, outfielder Ethan Jarvis and utility player Ryan Posniks have chosen to continue their careers together at Southern Wesleyan University in South Carolina.
Can you give us an update on the performance of North Oconee's collegiate-bound players?
Absolutely. Moon has started the 2024 season on fire, hitting 2 grand slams in a single game against Mount Pisgah Christian. However, as head coach Jay Lastly mentioned, amid high expectations, it's not about what these 4 can do on the field. Lastly expects them to be leaders on the team under a different title.
Leadership, we refer to it more as being a flag bearer. We don't need you to give speeches. We don't need you to stand up there and do these big, great things. But what we need you to do every day is pick the flag up and take off running so everybody else follows you.
Of course, the 4 have had unparalleled success at the high school level, winning back-to-back state championships. But college baseball is a whole different ballgame that presents its own challenges.
Big thing we've seen with guys moving to the next level is understanding that they're going from the top of the totem pole, per se, to the bottom. Like you're an 18-year-old and your youngest teammate is 15 years old. Now you're moving to the college level.
While the 2024 season is still in its early stages, here's what this group of stellar athletes did last year on their way to a state championship. Starting with KJ Moon, he batted an impressive .422 last season with a 1.422 OPS and a team-leading 57 RBIs and 10 home runs. On the mound, as the team's top pitcher, he had a 12-1 record with a 2.43 ERA and 71 strikeouts. Braden Hassan saw limited action, but batted .375 in 8 at-bats. On the mound, he had only 1 inning of action, but did not allow a run. He last played for 5-star Atlanta Premier in a perfect game tournament. Ethan Jarvis batted .367 through 98 at-bats in 2023, with 27 RBIs and an OPS over 1,000. And last but not least, Ryan Posnix batted 370 at-bats with 11 RBIs, scoring 18 runs and drawing 15 walks to 15 strikeouts throughout the season.
Sounds like the Titans have some diamond caliber players. What has their impact been like for the team during their career?
Well, Savannah, Coach Lastly spoke highly of the group, which has one more season in the red and black Titan uniforms.
The production and the winning, that's one thing. Like, you know, they've been very good players. Our senior group has been very, very good and been a part of 2 state championships, and that's been awesome. But more importantly, it's the culture that they help us create. It's the work ethic that they pass on to younger players. It's a freshman right now being able to watch KJ Moon, watch a Braden, watch an Ethan Jarvis go about their business in the weight room.
With a chance to once again reach the peak of high school baseball, looking for a 3rd straight state championship, these 4 Titans will have their focus on the rest of the season before moving to the collegiate level next year. Back to you, Savannah.
Coming up on Sportsource, hold on to your jerseys, sports fans. College football is shaking things up with a dynamic dozen replacing the Final Four. Stay tuned to Sportsource as we delve into the hearts of the revamped playoffs right after this break. Welcome back to Sportsource. College football fans, this one's for you. Spring games are just around the corner, starting the countdown to the 2024 season. But a shift this year promises a postseason experience like no other. Joining me now to unpack these changes and offer some fan insight is Sportsource reporter Elizabeth Hunter.
Big news, Dog fans. This year, the college football playoff is ditching the 4-team format and moving to a massive 12-team showdown. That means more teams chasing that championship dream, but also potentially longer treks for those aiming to reach the natty stage. With all this change swirling, I hit the heart of UGA's campus to see what Georgia fans think about the new layout. So going into this season, this will be the first time that CFP expands to 12 teams instead of 4 teams. How do you feel as a fan heading into it?
Honestly, I'm really excited, especially after this last season. If it was already 12 teams, we would have made it. So that kind of sucked, but I'm excited to have that going into my senior year and also just extending the college football season overall.
I like it. I think it's going to shake things up. I think you're going to see a lot of teams that normally don't make it, and UGA is going to be there a lot. So, yeah, I do like it for sure.
I think it's going to be good. It's going to make it a lot easier to choose which 12 teams are in. I think it's going to make it a lot harder for people to be disappointed with the 14 playoff. It'll make it easier. You know, last year, I think we should have gone in over, you know, Texas and potentially Washington, but that won't happen this year.
I'm excited. I think that opens the door for a lot of fun opportunities, especially with the group of 5 seed. You get a lot of cool upsets or just more exciting games because we only get 2, and most of the time the semifinals is pretty good. So hopefully we just get more of those.
Honestly, I am a bit concerned about the concept of the longer season, just for how that will affect the athletes with both their bodies and the academics. But it does increase our chances of getting to the playoffs, so it works out for us. That's one part that I like about it, especially since next year it'll also kind of help with that. But overall, I think it's a positive thing.
The 4-mans, it was a lot of people that were fans of the ranked 5 team were like, oh, we should be in us last year. So I don't really think there's any cons.
Still stinging from missing the 2023 playoffs and their shot at a three-peat, Georgia fans are cautiously optimistic about the new 12-team format and its potential to boost their team's national championship appearances. With the annual G-Day game kicking off on April 13th, the stage is set for a historic season in Athens. Back to you, Savannah.
Thanks, Elizabeth. That's all the time we have for today. We'll be back in 2 weeks with an all-new show. Until then, from the entire Sportsource crew, thanks for watching and have a great week.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
I think I finally found.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far.
A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark.
Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.